And that's your ball game. Tollison strikes out the side.
Baseball was my life. It was my passion. But I reached a point in my major league career where life just, I guess it caught up with me. I was in the midst of the best season I've ever had. And out of nowhere, my dad was diagnosed with 2 forms of stage 4 cancer and given 6 months to live. That news that I got that day, that shook me. It shook me to my core. And really looking back, I don't know that I ever pitched successfully again after that. My health, it just seemed to spiral out of control after that. Injuries piled on top of injuries. Is it coincidence? Definitely not. You're crazy to think that your health is all just diet and exercise. Every single thing that we walk through in this life has an impact on our physical health. Listen, I was never the most physically fit guy on the field. Definitely not. But that wasn't because of my work ethic. I worked extremely hard. To a fault sometimes, I'd say probably without question, I overworked. Work ethic was something that was instilled in me at a very, very young age. And while I never questioned whether I was working hard, I could see from an outsider's perspective, maybe I looked a little lazy. I put on unhealthy weight year after year. It seemed to take me twice as long to recover from an injury than it did other players. Why is that? I thought that I was eating healthy. I'm training for 2 to 3 hours every single day. Why can I not see my toes when I stand up? I'm supposed to be a professional athlete? Why do I feel like a piece of plywood every morning when I roll out of bed? This isn't the way it should be. I'm 28 years old, for crying out loud. Why is it that everyone gets a different return on their health investment? Why is it that the guy in the locker next to me got more benefit from his nonchalant workouts and chocolate chip cookies than I got from my 3-hour personal training session and super green smoothie? There's got to be a reason. I began to challenge the status quo. Harder is not the answer. More is not better. There has to be a smarter way to go about this. My baseball career, it was dying right in front of my eyes. My father was dying, and I was going to do anything in the world that I could to save them both. This was my wake-up call. Many of us have received a wake-up call in some shape or form. It's that moment when you realize just how important, just how crucial, just how vital your health really is. My wake-up call, it prompted me to start digging, to start tirelessly researching, to start reading books, to start listening to podcasts. I sought out advice and medical testing from some of the best physicians in the world. After all, I had a baseball career and a father that were depending on me. I explored genetics and nutrigenomics and epigenetics and really started to think outside the box in my own health journey. I began to devote less time to these long workouts and more time and more priorities to things like sleep. I stopped looking at food as a good food or a bad food, and I started looking at every single time I ate as an opportunity to rewrite my genes. I learned how to properly manage stress, and I learned how to use supplements with precision. At the end of the day, what I really gained was knowledge. But more important than that, I was able to put that knowledge into action. Because of that, I uncovered a level of health that I did not even know existed. So what did I do next? I started to share this knowledge. I shared it with friends and family who were inspired by my relentless pursuit of optimized health. And some of them were able to regain the energy that they had 10, 20, some of them even 30 years ago. I loved baseball. Heck, I still love baseball. But let's be honest for a second. Being a Major League Baseball player does require some level of selfishness. You have to look out for you. And if you're not looking out for you, how good is the team really going to be? Not very good at all. With health, with your health, it's really no different. Taking care of yourself is really the most selfless thing that you can do. Who do you want to be? Seriously, ask yourself, who do you want to be? To your spouse, to your kids, maybe your grandkids, to your community, to your company, to your church. How how is your health impacting your sphere of influence? When we can maximize our health, we increase our capacity to fulfill that purpose. This is why I founded Tallison Health. Let me help you navigate your health journey. You are unique. Your wellness regimen should be too. It shouldn't look like anybody else's. Okay, so here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to help you achieve these one-time results-driven goals. I want to help you establish an entirely new lifestyle. A lifestyle of new habits that you love, that not only allow you to achieve these goals, but drive you to push past these goals, to maintain these goals, to sustain these goals, and to refine these goals for the rest of your life. At Tallison Health, we like to use ancient wisdom as our foundation, but we use modern science and technology when we can gain an edge. I don't want to make your life more complicated. I want to simplify what it looks like to be truly healthy so that you can rethink the limits on what you thought was possible. Why is it that we always wait until something goes wrong to take action? True health should be more focused on preventing the problem than fixing the problem. I know what it's like to be busy. Trust me, I feel like I'm in the thick of it right now. Sometimes it feels like my life is moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. So how do we slow it down? How do we slow life down and keep health as a priority without dropping one of the other 100 balls that we're trying to juggle? I bet you could name 10 things right now that you could do to be healthier. So why aren't you doing them? Let me motivate you and educate you and inspire you and hold you accountable along the way. So why do I call myself a health advisor? Have you ever used a financial advisor? You outsourced your money to somebody else who you thought could do a better job of managing it? Should it be any different with your health? Is health not just as much of a prized possession or even more so? If you want to stay in the loop on what's happening at Tallison Health, all you have to do is text Shawn to 77513.